Will we ever again reach the magic and excitement that was the Infinity Saga? I guess we'll find out. Another MCU outing is here, and this time it is the third installment in the Ant-Man franchise from director Peyton Reed. So, a little briefer before getting into my full-on review. So what this movie sets up is we start off in an interesting spot where we are showing Janet back in the quantum realm for the first time when she meets Kang the Conqueror. This is a short scene where it then flashes forward to a modern day, and we get a look at Scott's current life post-Endgame. He is a best-selling author for his new book about himself, and he is loved by all in his community and all in the world for saving it. The Ant-Man family then is shown sitting down for a dinner, and secrets start getting exposed as to what Cassie, Hank, and Hope have been up to and working on lately. We see back to the house, and we see that Cassie, with the help of the others, has built a telescope of sorts to the quantum realm that she wishes to use almost to map out the quantum realm. After this, Janet warns her not to mess with this kind of technology, not to mess with the quantum realm, because she has no idea what is truly down here. And then, mania happens. Let's start off with the positives of this movie right off the bat. So, the first thing I have to mention here is Jonathan Majors' performance as Kang. He gives an incredible, thrilling performance that steals the show every time that he is on screen. I'm really happy with the way they transitioned Kang from the comic book pages onto the big screen. They really got his costume right, they got his demeanor right, they got his attitude right, and he is truly a terrifying villain that I hope to see more of in the future of the MCU. Also, the core four of Rudd, Lily, Pfeiffer, and Douglas also gave really great performances in this outing. Another big positive for me is the aesthetic and feel of the quantum realm. They did a really good job here building out this little but big world with lots of quirky characters and interesting little things they throw into the mix. I hope to see more of Peyton Reed's vision of the quantum realm in the future of the MCU, and I hope that we get more stories and battles and movies centered in this realm. The script and story here is also very well played out with high stakes and decisions that our characters have to make that can really pull at the heartstrings at times of the viewers. And lastly, make sure to stick around till the end of this film because both post-credit scenes really pack a punch and set up some cool things for our future. Next up, getting into the negatives of this movie, and sadly I do have a few. The first one, and probably the biggest one for me, is I felt like there was a lot of wasted potential with the characters that were introduced in this movie. This was a different variant of Kang than we got in the Loki show, and while I feel the character was played to perfection by Jonathan Majors and he was truly thrilling and carried the movie, I do feel that he was wasted a bit in the story. I also feel like some of the side characters were added in just for jokes, and I don't feel like that's always a good reason to have someone in a story. Sometimes you need a little bit of substance from them as well instead of just being there to enhance the comedy. Mostly though, I can't believe how badly they wasted the character of MODOK. MODOK is a really cool character both in the comics and in a couple of the animated Marvel TV shows that we've gotten in the past, and this movie just did not do him the justice he deserves. I didn't like the origin of the character, and I didn't like the way he was played for jokes the majority of his screen time, or the way they dealt with him in the movie. So there's many ways you could have handled these characters better, and they just failed to do that this time around. Another slight negative I have with this film is even though it was non-stop action and the story was constantly building, for some reason I did feel kind of bored at times. And a lot of times I go see Marvel movies multiple times with different groups of people on different days, and I don't think this is one that I could get myself to go see it in the theaters again for a second time. And the last negative I have here, which has kind of been a negative for a lot of Marvel movies in recent history for me, is I feel they are trying too hard to shoot for the moon with every film they drop. Sometimes all they need to do is give us some smaller scale movies like they did with the first two Ant-Man films and eventually build up to this big epic event. The Infinity Saga handled this so well with going from Iron Man to these origin stories to finally ending in the Infinity War and Endgame finale. I feel like this new saga post Endgame is trying to hit it out of the park every time, and I don't know if it's really working for them. I just don't want the MCU to crumble under the own weight that they've built for themselves with that first saga. Overall, I'd have to give this movie a low 6 to a high 5 out of 10. I think if I'm going to have to settle on an official score, I'm going to have to go with a 5 out of 10. This movie was just alright to me. It wasn't as upsetting as some Marvel films like Thor: Love and Thunder was, but it also wasn't what you'd expect from even an average MCU movie. I'd have to honestly say that this is a below average film for me. I'd say if you are a huge Marvel fan like me, you should head out and see this in theaters and form your own opinions on it, but if you're not that big of a Marvel fan, then I'd suggest to just wait for it to hit streaming services. This is a movie that I will be adding to my personal collection also because strictly of the fact that I am a completist and I have the need to own every MCU movie on physical copy. Thank you for watching and I hope you enjoyed. If you liked what you saw here and you want to see more movie reviews, movie rankings, or just movie talk in general, make sure to leave a like and hit that subscribe button to be notified for future videos. Also, everything in this video has been my opinion. I have mine, you have yours, and that's okay. But I love to hear about yours, so leave them in the comments below and we can talk about them. Thank you and have a great day.